Welcome back to the SheffnSeth Podcast. We're your host, Sheff.
And I'm Seth.
And today we have a guest.
Callum Ruxton, otherwise known as Cal.
Yeah, he's our buddy. We've known him for a while.
Yeah, Cal the Conservative on Instagram if you guys want to check it out.
And Callum Ruxton, if you know him in person and you want to visit him at his house.
His name is Callum, not Calum.
His
so don't even call him Calum.
Okay, Nick.
I'm sorry.
I know you
I don't speak your language.
What are you talking about? I don't speak a different language. I talk just like the rest of you.
We're doing Star Wars because Callum's very knowledgeable in it. Me and Seth are kind of knowledgeable in it. But before we started the podcast, I was saying something about the Skywalker saga. Last I played, there was like 96 side quests, and I hopped on the other day, and there's 360 something.
Oh my!
And they announced the other day how they have like the 12 DLCs that are out now. They're releasing 6 more here soon.
Gosh dang, that's a lot of DLCs. You have anything to say about that, Cal?
Well, I think that as soon as you're done with your second job, we need to actually finish the base game because we have not played that in like 3 months.
Cal comes to my house almost daily and we work out, but usually after or before workout, before I got a second job, we would play the Skywalker saga together, just spend some quality bromance time.
Absolutely. Bromance, it's nothing about being gay. I love him in the very most heterosexual way.
Yes, exactly. Buddies, buddy old pals, old friends.
Can I just... Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead and interrupt us.
No, I just real quick to add. You didn't have to say that. There was a 5-minute segment in one of our Minecraft episodes where we talked about me sitting on Seth's dick. And I'm sure everybody
okay.
In the most heterosexual way.
Just to clarify.
But the edit that was put in was I sat on Dick Cheney's lap.
On Dick Cheney?
Okay, so the bit was basically that
guy's terrible.
My dick is so long that it reaches the other end of the couch. And Nick comes to sit on the couch casually, and he sits on it, and I go, ow.
And then just play the whole thing off of it.
Nick, you're hurting my penis.
Yeah. And it was it was 5 minutes of that. So you didn't have to...
It's amazing.
You guys,
if you're a true friend, you'd watch all the episodes.
If you were a true SheffPlays fan.
But anyway...
Looking at you guys and me.
So Cal would come every day and we'd play the game, but I got a second job and ruined our entire relationship. But I put in my 2-week notice today, so therefore... we will be able to play the game again.
Friendship will be restored.
Friendship will be restored, which is,
when I played that...
I love this bit.
Our word is our bond.
Indeed.
The best part about... I know you were... So we're live on TikTok right now while we're filming. Yeah. And the best part about that is when Callum just gave him, a reach-around hug. Or when he...
He gave me a quick little reach-around.
Something said flicks her armpit. That's so weird.
When Callum gave him a hug, I just thought it was funny because I know he was looking at the live, but you guys won't see that. You'll just hear the... He's like, this is my friend.
Just for the context, just visualize it in your mind's eye right now.
Clapper.
Callum, it's dark in here.
Turn the lights on.
Sorry. But I thought it was great because I text Seth and I was like, yo, have you seen the new Skywalker saga? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I just bought it. He's like, bro, I bought it 3 days ago. And just perfect, whenever that's happened 3 times because me and Seth have very different taste in video games.
4 times.
Yeah.
But he told me that, and being that I just bought it, I was like, this is a race. I never told him that, but I was like, this is a race. And coincidentally, that day, I lived with my sister, and we had to get COVID tested, so we were home for 4 days, and I was like, it's on.
He killed that game, dude.
100%.
And so I'm more of a sandbox RPG type player, I'd say.
Whereas I'm God of War, Call of Duty.
Yeah, and I don't know. I like those kind of games. I grew up on Lego Star Wars with Cal.
Mario.
And it's fun, but I'm just so busy it's hard for us to get into
My
it.
tongue hurts.
Anyway, this whole episode is going to be about kind of Cal teaching us about the Star Wars universe. We both, Nick and I both know a little bit, but Cal is really got some in-depth knowledge. So where do you want to start?
It's big brain time.
It's big brain time.
Well, I have a fun little thing we could do. We could talk about our favorite characters from the Star Wars universe, and I could probably tell you more about them than you know currently.
I already know yours.
Me?
No, Cal's.
Oh.
Cal's is Plo Koon.
Yeah.
Oh, over here.
Who is the only Jedi to beat Yoda in a lightsaber duel.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Who has the Jedi version of Sith of lightning? It's called Electric Judgment, and it comes out orange in the comics or yellow.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I don't
Who's yours?
You like?
My favorite character?
Yeah.
It
doesn't have to be a Jedi.
Oh, I didn't think that was a ground rule. I was thinking. It's weird because I don't have like a favorite character. I really like Cal Kestis.
Oh, really?
That's amazing because that's me.
Yeah, I fucking.
That's Cal.
Yeah, I know. I'm such a fan of your work.
Okay, does he fit in the?
They're actually.
He's canon.
I saw something. Yeah, they're working on making him like officially canon.
He's like in the same time period as the Obi-Wan series, isn't he?
Yeah,
basically. I wanted him to be in that show, but he wasn't.
Because he was a kid during Order 66.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then his adulthood is like, well, they're trying to get rid of all the Jedi, and he's working against that.
That was an amazing game. I honestly love the Fallen Order series.
It's not only that, it's not like common anymore these days where like you get a good game story that's like 25 hours long. Mm-hmm. The only other recent game I can think of like that's not like 25 hours long because they make you do 30 side objectives was God of War 2018.
I love that game.
Right, because you could argue GTA and Red Dead 2's stories are super long. There's mad side objectives. And the maps are unreasonably large. Mm-hmm. Whereas like Fallen Order is like, hey, here's a planet, but you only get like a third of it, so do what you can with that.
Yeah, it had enough of like structure that a simple campaign player could appreciate it.
Yeah,
but then if you want, it had a lot of replayability to get like the extra unlockables and find like secret locations and stuff.
Right.
Like I found myself visiting the same planet like 3 or 4 times and finding something there was really cool.
Okay, so wait.
Cal Kestis, I pretty much only know anything from Fallen Order.
Well, I was thinking.
Well, if you've played the game, like that's pretty much
it tells
all
you
the information that you have in it currently.
Well, I personally don't know anything about Cal Kestis. Because I have the game, but I never have played it.
I'm telling you, I think it's
an amazing game.
You have a habit of like, if you find a game you're grounded in, you play. Like, you go. And I think that's one of them where you would.
Yeah, I'm always out here grinding.
Okay.
Well, it's like my front brakes for a while.
I remember every time you leave in the house, we just okay.
Enough, calm down.
Jeez,
you're always grinding.
You know.
One Star Wars thing I wanted to ask you about was I started watching videos on it recently. Is the horror aspect, like the Blackwing Project, and what's that one lady? I know those are more legend than lore, but that one like space demon and her grins like this, and she can like eat souls and.
I feel like
I'll find a picture.
I really
of it,
don't
like,
actually. I don't know. Is this some kind of
This is the whole.
Is this some kind of Darth Nihilist like?
No, it's more legend.
Is it the Yuzan Vong like after the original trilogy? Because there were in the Legend series there was this like basically race of like space kind of like demon creatures called the Yuzan Vong. And it had like kind of this like plague that enveloped the galaxy and pretty much destroyed almost everything in the New Republic. But that all got wiped out when like the new canon came in, like Disney and some of the prequel areas started changing that. So
I just saw a picture of her on TikTok and it scared me.
Well that's okay.
She's almost like a star killer.
The story of Abeloth. Oh, I think I've read about this a while ago.
It kind of reminds me. I saw a video like yesterday, and it was like 10 horror themes within the Star Wars universe, and one of them's like zombie clones.
That's Blackwing.
Blackwing? Is that like, what is that?
It's zombies within Star Wars
Luke or something. So yeah, this must have been from like the original Legends.
But
it was the era like after the original 80s, movies finished up. So yeah, I don't know a ton about her. I'll be honest.
The Blackwing Project was the Sith trying to like formulate the ultimate super soldier. But it created that virus within them, and I might be a little off here, but it started causing that zombie-like infection. And the scariest part was it would infect every species differently. Like for humans, like stormtroopers and stuff, it would like just turn them into basic zombies. Mm-hmm. But for Wookiees, what it would do was it would like cause their tongue and throat to swell until it exploded. and then like because they lost so much blood, their instant result was cannibalism to get it back.
Oh my god!
But the stormtrooper zombies, the Blackwing like main, they didn't work like Walking Dead zombies. They worked more like World War Z zombies, where they were smart.
No.
They would pay attention. Like, they would shut off communication systems.
That's messed up.
In the Legends, Han and Chewie were both in the middle of it. Like, they saw it firsthand. Because they were prisoners.
Scary.
Yeah. Oh, if you look up, like, the videos in Lord, it's terrifying.
I'll be honest, I'm kind of a wuss when it comes to horror stuff in general. So that's really not up my alley. What I can tell you, though, fun fact about Han Solo and Chewbacca, in one of the Legends comics, the death arc for them has them crash landing on Earth and they get killed off by Native Americans.
Really?
The Millennium Falcon crashes there. And somehow, like, I don't know if C-3PO and like R2-D2 were with them, or if there was like some kind of like artwork that included them. But that kind of slightly like connects the Easter eggs of C-3PO and R2-D2 being in like some of the like structures on one of the temples that Indiana Jones goes to.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's pretty neat how like George Lucas kind of like was able to connect those two.
There's like I also saw something that was like, I can't remember what movie it was, but in like the background of one of the movies, you can see them see clones carrying the Ark.
What I found in the Clone Wars show, it was there's the Ark of the Covenant. It was became by battle droids in the Battle of Ryloth in season 1 or early season 2 of the Clone Wars show, and I was like, no way. So I watched the episode for myself and I took a picture. I think I sent it to you like maybe a year ago or something.
Yeah, Christianity confirmed in the Star Wars.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, all right, that's right. All the aliens are gonna get saved by my boy Jesus. About to evangelize.
Shout out to my boy Jesus.
Area 51 about to get taken over.
Okay, my favorite personal character in the Star Wars universe, as you probably know, is Kit Fisto.
Yes.
So tell me some stuff of Kit Fisto.
As I say, I've seen him in the Lego games, but I fall asleep.
I know he died fighting Sidious.
He did fighting Sidious.
No!
If you look at his like costume design from episode 2 to episode 3, I saw this recently. I think it was probably just more of a mistake or an oversight, but it makes it look like he aged really terribly. His original costume, he kind of looked like a very kind, approachable, like his... He kind of almost looks like the face of, like, what you think of an alien gray with just like tentacles or whatever the hell those are called. Tendrils. And he, like, smiles. Like, that's one of his, like, key things, like, Attack of the Clones is, like, his smiling feature. But I don't think he even has any audible dialogue lines. Neither does Plo Koon. Only, like, some of the concept scenes that were never actually produced do they get, like, speaking lines, which kind of disappoints me. So, thankfully, the Clone Wars, like, builds out a lot of them off. In the Clone Wars, like, Kit Fisto is highlighted in both the newer version and then also in the original micro series I really liked when I was a little kid. I think it came out between episodes 2 and 3. It was a 2D micro series called Star Wars: The Clone Wars that highlighted kind of the transition from Anakin becoming a Padawan to becoming a Jedi Knight, and they actually include like this like trial that he goes through in the ceremony. So it includes some story that the new Clone Wars doesn't. But Kit Fisto in that and in the new one is like established as being a very charismatic Jedi, being someone who keeps his cool, who keeps like a positive attitude. In both of those shows, he is like naturally, because of his species, like a really adept swimmer. He's also very strong with his force powers. It's not really hit on as much in like the Cartoon Network version of the Disney show, but there's some epic moments of Kit Fisto. Like you look up like YouTube highlights of him using like force powers underwater. Like he literally like creates like these massive force bubbles of power, and he's able to take out giant like droid machinery and structures, like these like sound wave, shockwave level style like freaking force bubbles and stuff. It's just the coolest thing. So between that, I think some of the comics that I've like listened to YouTube analysis from, I think he might have actually had like a relationship with someone breaking the Jedi Code. They're actually more than what you would have thought based on the movies with the Jedi Code, where like some Jedi Masters had some like intimate sexual relationships and stuff that they really weren't supposed to have. But it kind of shows that towards the end of the Jedi Order, a lot of the rules and a lot of the discipline that they were supposed to have started getting overlooked. And that could be seen as part of their decline, is because they kind of got away from the traditions that had made them strong in the first place and made them last thousands of years.
That's actually super interesting because not only is that like a lot of detail about a Jedi that you don't know much about if you were to just watch the movies, but that really shows the power of Palpatine as well. To just, I know that Kit Fisto, apart from Mace Windu, was the last one to die in that battle, but to see somebody that strong go down that, easily.
Fairly quickly
within a battle really shows how powerful the Sith are. With their anger, and it's just that's actually something really crazy to comprehend.
That's another thing. Like, if you guys haven't had an understanding of that, when you probably first watched Revenge of the Sith and you saw everybody but Mace Windu like basically get murdered easily, it was kind of annoying and upsetting. Like, are you kidding me? They're supposed to be Jedi Masters. They're really getting taken out that easy. Like, didn't even have a chance to defend themselves. I think it was either from the like script or from like the book version of Revenge of the Sith. But I had seen a video where they analyzed and they said what actually happened, you didn't realize that like weird scream that Palpatine let out before he does like his weird like, crazy sex move that they talk about in the magazines, like, like 5 moves to, rock his world and destroy his Senate, It's like, he just does that. He does like the crazy spin, but like that was like that was a Force attack that he was screaming out, like some kind of like Sith chant, like using the Force to actually stun them and limit their abilities and their connection to the Force, so they weren't able to like predict his movements and defend themselves. So like that weird scream thing was actually an attack that weakened them. Mace Windu was one of the few people, I think because of his like kind of balance between the light and dark side, that he was able to withstand it. And I was like, that's crazy that actually kind of explains how that happened so quickly.
Wow.
So there's just some random facts for you guys. I'm not a crazy nerd or anything. Totally normal guy you could date, But
we totally not single, by the way.
Yeah,
Alright, so we gotta wrap into the intro, but I think we should definitely do part 2 on that, because I'll mention it after, but I did think of something. But yeah, this was our first guest episode.
Thank you very much.
Our second podcast.
Cal the Conservative.
Yeah, we'll throw his Instagram handle up on screen now.
Thank you.
And, we hope you guys enjoyed. And if you're having a good day, fuck. I hope you guys enjoyed. And have a good day. If you're having a good rest of your day, Seth, anything to add?
Star Wars is the coolest.
Oh, Callum!
Me!